can't.
Right, right. Nay, like you guys are in a figuratively new continent. What are your strategic defensive priorities? Do you guys take defenses, and how do you optimize for that?
Yeah, I mean, most of our keeps, at least our big ones, are, set up for defense and stuff. But we still have some smaller keeps that definitely need to get out of the way, especially once we get towards, finals and stuff. So it's like a keep by keep basis for us, but for the most part, if the match goes the way we intend it to, we just don't really get a lot of incoming until we get to a point where the other teams have decided to hit us because they can't pass us. And then at that
Mhm.
point, it's just fun, playing defense and just seeing how many you can take.
Okay. Let's.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna switch gears. I'm gonna ask a bunch of questions because the game meta has changed, and I think the
Mhm.
echelons, like the top four, kind of, I think in most continents is sort of set.
Hmm.
But where it's gonna change things is beyond the top four or even beyond top 16. I don't think the status quo is gonna change all that much. Like some shuffling may happen, someone might win that wasn't expected to win, or someone new wins or whatever. But for most part, it's the top eight rank is just gonna be those teams. It's not gonna change unless a team disappeared. But what has been happening recently is rallies settle a lot slower than reigns.
Mhm.
Like reigns
Hmm.
settle crazy fast. The question
Hmm.
is, does it actually impact how you play Chalons?
Hmm.
And it's an open question. Like I think most people here that are on the stage, all of you have been part of recent BOCs, BOGs, and it's just the same way it's gonna play out in Chalons. Do you see an impact? Do you think that'll shift
Definitely.
strategy? Would it change things for you? Do you think it'll change things for teams beyond top eight or top 16 as well?
I, I don't think it's going to change anything, at least not initially. It may be like a mid-game shift, or like once third and fourth are kind of sorted and decided, how you manage that holding first or playing for second role. Uh, but I mean, when you introduce two other teams onto the map, uh, the ability to shift points around the board comes from just, I don't want to say recklessly sending rallies, but sending rallies. Um, I don't think the rain settlement's necessarily going to change that. Like splatting on fourth is still going to be a play if you need to do it, even if they have 100 million rains.
No, I think it definitely changes things in a one-on-one situation, but in a like 4v4 situation, the change is a lot less stark because attacking is definitely the most important thing. I don't really agree that sending a rallies recklessly, I mean, unless your team can run out of bullets, is a bad idea in a 4v4, especially if you're like looking to heal a lot. I still think speed setting is the meta for a 4v4 situation. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, the resettling, it changes in a way that, like you can't really target one team. Like there are two ways, right? Like either you target your biggest competition and make sure that they have nothing left, or you don't hit your competition at all. And I think targeting your competition, biggest competition, becomes less viable because of this rain situation, because they can just turtle up and rain. And what we have seen against some of the top teams is, like, unless we are filling 180, all rallies go negative, because reins is so easy to rein compared to sending and the rally settling. It's just so much easier to rein.
Yeah, I'd say
Mhm.
the only change that we really make as far as that goes is like early on target selection. I'm not going to target somebody that I know from All Stars or something has a really solid defense because I know they're going to get reins in it. I'm going to target somebody that, I've seen, get wiped with reins. I'm going to pick somebody that versus, just going all out and trying to catch them without reins like you used to be able to do. It's just not a thing anymore. They're getting those reins in.
Also, the reins are really good at this stage, I feel. So reins are just gonna make a rally supply if you have good reins compared to before. Reins do a lot of
Yeah, but
damage now.
like think of C3, right? C3 is where it's
Yeah,
competitive. So you've got WDF, you've got email, and you've got raw. I don't know who you want to
yeah,
put. Like let's say DNR is the fourth
yeah,
team.
yep,
It definitely changes who you target, right? And how
definitely.
many you send.
Yeah, because even I can say the past 3 seasons for us has always been about point management and having that experience of being in the finals before and knowing what the teams will do. So what we've been, I feel, good at is looking at our final opponents and being good at out of the gate. Because what happens with those is, if you look at the last 3 seasons, is within the first 15 minutes, or even prior to that, within the first 15 minutes, we've got a really nice lead, and then from there it's like often point management. So we pick an alliance which we feel is gonna be weak on. It's not gonna challenge us at the end of the day. So we'll go after them hard, and from there, just making sure we are ahead and picking our targets.
Mhm.
Because even at this stage, we have become like we get targeted now as an alliance, right? Especially our small guys, and we want that. Especially if we've got a lead, we'll take that all day long. Because it's points for us. We just
Yeah,
can rain.
yeah.
We can rain,
Defense,
and we
defense
can get those.
definitely,
Yeah,
defense definitely plays a role. Like if you can get defensive points, it is actually a good thing for you,
yeah,
especially if your team can somewhat rein in.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's really important to note though on the defense side, like defense is not strategy from a winning
No,
standpoint. Like defense
no,
is defense is something that you have to be ready for when it comes your way, but you can't expect it to come your way. You have to plan as
no.
if it will not.
Yeah,
And
Agreed.
I think
you're either first or fourth. And in any other situation, you're not getting defenses.
yeah, and this is I think same with All Stars and Chalon. I think it applies to both, right? The team that's gonna be good is they know when to shift gears and anticipate that, right? And that's where
Mhm.
you're gonna have the advantage, and is preparing for that. You need to be able to shift gears very quickly and then take defenses, then go back on offense, and yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
I
that
think
that sort of plays a big role. Like it gets undervalued a
yeah,
lot. I think C6, C1, C3 is where it's going to be very important this season with like the amount of comparable teams and
yes,
C1 and C3 and C6 is crazy. I don't know about
yeah,
C4 enough to be able to comment. Like I know two teams. So one is Stamp and the other one is Whoop with PPK. I literally don't know other teams. But like when you have a situation like that, the target selection, like who do you hit the first 20 minutes? Who do
yeah,
you take defense from in the first 20 minutes? And how do you pivot if the scoreboard isn't going in your favor? Who do you
yeah,
start targeting? How quickly do you target them? When do you slow down? How much do you allow rallies to settle? Do you wait the extra 3 seconds? Do you send faster? Like a lot of these factors sort of determine the outcome. And the game mostly is decided in the first 45 minutes.
yeah, easily. Most of the time, yeah, agreed. And it's like you need to know your team really well. That's a big one as well, especially like, you know, let's look at the further down the top 16 teams or beyond that. If you know your team really well, who your cores are, and where you need that support, so that helps as well. And you can, prepare for, okay, I know so and so person in my team is gonna get targeted, and what kind of role they have, and how often you can bait people into rallying certain keeps as well, right? So
Mhm.
you're a setter, right? If you see a certain keep, you're gonna set on it first. So from a setter point of view, that's a really big thing. But also from a another team, you know who's going to get targeted and how you're going to deal with that.
Yeah. Our plan has always been like very simple. I think we've played the same playbook for 4 seasons in a row now.
Yeah,
We go after the largest team that's a non-threat. Then if there is a smaller team, you wipe that team first with everybody else. You try and take as many, and then the largest team after that, that is a non-threat,
yeah,
is who you
yeah.
target. And
Yeah, because
then
even with C3, that's what we've had over the previous seasons. There's always
Mhm.
been a team that has managed to get into the finals purely down to favorable matches. And when they get there, by the time they get to the final, they're already out of speed ups. So then you need to know those your opponents and what potentially they might do, and yeah, go after that. So that's what we've been really good at in the past seasons.
Yeah, and I think this doesn't get accounted for a lot. Like some of the teams that make the top 16 bracket,
Yeah,
they get good matchups, they go there, and obviously it's a grind for them. They work hard and they get there. But
yeah,
the problem is once they get there, they're up against teams that didn't heal all season and didn't need to heal
yes,
purely because of how they played and how big they are or how they set up laterally. And then you've run into a team that just has crazy amount of more speed ups than you. So it's a very unfair fight at that point.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh,
So,
do you have other
next
questions,
question.
Anya?
Yeah, yeah. The field control mastery, like coordinating buildings, rally halls, hospitals, who to call reins on, who to jump. I mean, do you guys do your homework already? Is there somebody in your alliance who does all that for you guys, or is it just whoever picks up whatever they can?
I think for at least I'll speak first because I think my answer is probably the simplest. As we already know our opponents for most part, and the ones we don't know is usually that fourth team that is going to be easy to play. Like it's not going to be too important in the equation. So, like our homework is all like it was done a decade ago, and it's still the same homework. Nothing has changed. We just update the sheet with some information, but no one has to build sheets anymore. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let others answer though. Like the younger generations are going to be different. Like C5, C6, that's probably going to be different. C4
Yeah.
might be different. Like Stamp, I'm sure he fucking watches other people's videos too. So I'm sure he has sheets and stuff.
Hey, trying to claw your way from a consistent eighth into finals into first is no easy feat.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
I'm just saying, bro. Honestly, you guys weren't expected, right? No one was going before you won. I don't think 3 months before you won, people were like, "Yeah, THE is winning Chalons." No one said that. I hadn't heard that.
I
Yeah,
expected
Oh,
it.
Like,
there were
obviously,
there
you
were
guys did a lot more
expectations.
planning.
I wasn't
It was
surprised at
quiet
all.
expectations. um, yeah, I'd say for first 4 weeks because I don't want to ignore the first 4 weeks. I think audience wise, there's probably a lot of people that they play for the first 4 weeks. First 4 weeks we don't prep anymore, but alliances that are in those first 4 weeks, I would. You still want to try and get that top 100 for the Castle Deco for the Alliance City. Try and hit top 64 to try and advance through and maybe get a red sub for one of the people on the team. So like there's definitely that prep that goes into it. But nine, we didn't prep last season until semis, and somebody on our team, I think probably similar to you guys, collects data on all of the other teams that are in the match, spreadsheets it out. Yeah, and then I don't know. I'll go try and find a video if I can. The videos are kind of sparse, just as far as how a team plays, the setter plays, and yeah, try and figure out how to counter everything.
One thing I will add, I think, for those teams that are playing in the first 4 weeks, trying to get reps up for somebody and that planning, that itself can be really exciting and fun to do that. So, like, everybody trying to have that goal in mind and trying to work towards it. And yeah, it can be quite fun.
It's good practice too, right? Like if you have
Yes.
aspirations to get past that,
Yes.
kind of putting the reps in early, and then you'll have a starting point for next challenge as far as like, okay, we did these things this challenge, felt like this was a benefit. Next challenge, let's edit what we did and improve upon it. Like that's what we did. At least it was just at this point, it was years ago.
Yeah. And yeah, a lot of them, maybe a lot of the listeners will be in that position. So yeah, again, it's like they can use what we do for the finals or semis and apply it to the likes of the prelims.
Yep.
Right. Nay, how do you guys do it?
Do what?
Do you have somebody? Yeah, do you have somebody who maps up the other alliances and calls out reigns or the rally halls, the hospitals? How do you guys coordinate all this?
Zero
I
scouts
can
with ground.
tell. Yeah, I was gonna say, with the response Nay gave us, the prep work is on the ground solo you. That's it.
I mean, I guess we look at regular season as kind of practice training. So we try to play every match like we're going into Chalons, get in, hit them hard, get out. So I mean, for us, it's, we're just counting on everyone to play your positions like you play them every match. And so as far as that goes, but we do take a look at the other teams, see where they're, what changes they've made since the last time we faced them. Take a look at videos if they have them, to see, how they're setting. See if we need to make adjustments in order to strategize around what they'll likely do. But for the most part, we just try to show up and play our game the way we play it. And, it's been successful.
That's nice. Francis.
Yeah, so we never had a hard time like play buildings, so it's kind of pretty easy thing. So and the last Shalom season, I learned from POB, so they send like a small keep to each enemy hive, so just do scouting, calling for targets, march out everything. So I think that's a pretty good strategy. So we probably learn from them and do this season. Yeah.
Console. Do you guys
Hello.
actually need to prepare?
I mean, for the finals and stuff, we do prepare a little bit, but uh, in general, I think using Wig as an example would be a bad idea because there's a big lateral buff difference. But when we are facing top teams during qualifiers or in COCs, we do make some plans for Chalon's finals as well. There are some basic plans in place. But in general, we also have a habit like many of the other alliances. We have an Excel sheet where we track the progress of the top teams. What keep level the players are going, what kind of rallies they're throwing, and things like that. And some of our players have been playing for a while, so they know the strengths and weaknesses of the teams. And if if a good setter is there, not talking about Viper, but somebody who knows how to set, then we pick and choose targets like that. But eventually, yeah, we target everybody.
I think, I don't know how you guys feel, but one thing I would add is with portals, it's getting a lot harder to port lock and teams getting port lock the way Evony has made the changes as well.
I think it's actually like even regular battlefields, it's becoming difficult. But I
Yeah,
think in general, the overall skill of players in game and understanding of things that you have to do in battlefield is improving. Like more and
yeah,
more people realize that okay, if I get port logged, I'm absolutely going to get smacked around. So people have started paying more attention. At
yeah,
least the ones that
yeah,
are taking Chalons more seriously and stuff.
yeah.
So
Because I can't remember the last time people actually struggled with getting port locked or like getting port locked.
Yeah, I think
Unless like, yeah, sorry, go on.
yeah, it's dang near impossible in a 4v4 to get port locked if anyone's paying attention.
I mean
Yeah,
it is and it isn't. It depends on what round it is, right? Finals, 100% agree. But
yeah,
in those first four rounds, I feel like that's a very underappreciated or paid attention to number.
that's
And
true.
Yeah, that
those
I guess that's
those
true. I was thinking
But
more about finals.
yeah,
yeah, those
yeah,
like
same
second
here.
and third place teams that are trying to push themselves into that first or second place slot, that's one way to do it.
Yeah,
So I
because
see here Jay has a question about he said our server has top 75 finishing alliances in Chalons one season. We merged the alliances and now we have consistently been second seed. We finished 66th this BOC season. Now we've had a surge for merge and brought in even more power. We have 150 live players in one alliance, no alts in the main alliance. Should we be managing our sign up power for Ultimate War season or to get manageable matchups, or bringing all of our biggest keeps, some of whose buffs do not justify their power? I would say, Jay, that your biggest focus should be getting those big keys up to where they need to be buff wise so that they do match their power. But yeah, I would look at doing like a limited sign up for Ultimate War season and go that route, because I don't think that bringing in keeps that are, a little squishier is not really going to serve you guys as far as Ultimate War season goes. But
also there's one thing that sucks with this kind of situation, and I know it's hard, but you have to cut people.
yeah,
You
I
just have
agree.
to. So a lot of the times in these kind of situations, I feel is because people are so attached, they're not gonna cut people. But if you wanna, it depends on what your goals are and the things you wanna achieve, right? And that needs to be reflected on how you move forward. So certain things, let's say, even if you carry somebody, sooner or later they're not gonna have fun because if they get outmatched and just getting destroyed every game, every battle.
That's it. Like
Mhm.
literally,
So
all you need to do is if you're super serious and competitive, then like do
yeah,
what Stamp or I said in chat. Keep 20 or 25 people, maybe 30 people. Everybody else needs to go out and they need to become farms. If not, you can maybe like keep about 70 odd people in an alliance that's semi serious about Chalons. Because if
yeah,
your aim is top 64, not top 8, top 16, you don't really need to go all in on the farms. But you need to
definitely.
run at least 50 to 70 farms. You need to be
Yeah.
bossing 24/7.
I'm just
Hopefully this is
shocked
not
there's a
being
hundred.
recorded. And you
And
should
you
be
have,
botting. You should be
yeah,
fucking botting 24/7.
I'm just shocked there's
uh,
150 people on a server.
yep.
Yeah, me too.
And a server that's getting merged more, especially that. But yeah, one thing you have, yeah, it comes down to what are your goals and being realistic about it and how you're gonna get there.
Yeah, we had a unique situation when we started our. We came to it specifically to form the team. We didn't just naturally, draw the server. And so, we had a very clear picture of what we wanted to do with the server. And we had, a lot of, new people first day, and they had, no, we can help you. And our thing was always, we only need 25 strong keeps on the server. Like everything else is just there. It's a farm.
But yeah, I think a lot of the times, what people don't realize. So let's say if you're just gonna be a farmer, there's nothing wrong with that, but just don't get in anybody's way.
Exactly.
Everybody has their own way of playing, and yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So the other thing is that most of the crux of our players are like low coining to medium coining. How do you guys in your alliances do inclusive reward optimization to make sure that they keep enjoying the game as with their spend level? And how do you guys distribute the subs and how do you guys do this reward optimization for your alliances?
We don't distribute subs anymore. We try and get 15. We've been lucky to get 15 every season. We just have people do their spectacles on culturals because Chalon subs lately, at least for teams like us, are dog shit. Like they're garbage. They used to be very good. Like you look at Hungary, amazing. Changan,
Yeah,
amazing. You look at stuff that they give us now, fucking total bullshit.
yeah, I've
Gives you
got two that.
five
So
percent 5% ground HP debuff and 15% mounted attack. That's it's
Yeah, I feel like
for
I've
for
got
like,
us,
two.
but again,
I've got two same in my
it's a
inventory.
luxury. It's a luxury to be able to say this. But like that's a dinosaur advantage. I get it. Not everyone has it. But for us, it's simple. Get 15 and 15 people can do spectacles.
So with those, yeah, we're in a similar position as you guys, especially since we've got so many subs over the years. And yeah, I'm a big believer of just put it into spectacles because or just save it for the future. I've got two sitting in my inventory.
yeah, I think I'll take a different cut at this because we're younger than y'all and haven't
Yeah.
had the same depth of success or coin. Um, we look at the sub, ask ourselves the question: is this better than a gold Japan? If yes, then it gets passed down. How we do our pass down though is ultimately we start at the top and go down and try and fill out. Uh, Process being like our top players have to be able to be at the top of their game to continue to help the alliance. And as they max out, uh, Japans are going to be flying down the line. Then Reds are starting to fly down the line. It's been years in the making, but like purple
You know
Japans
what
just
this
float
reminds
around.
me of, Stampy?
Mm.
This is like RSP in 2023, 2024. Like we used to create like an Excel sheet of who has what sub and what does this
Yep.
sub give, and then we'd be like, okay, who needs to get this? Who should get ground? Who should get the range one? Like
Yeah, and
good old
it's
times.
team optimization because like you have
Yeah.
to, right? Especially those lower coin players. It's not like they're not of significant value. I mean, we have completely free to play players. We have a player that's lifetime spent $85, uh, and he's insane value.
I've outdone you. I've outdone you now. I've got a rally keep that has spent a total of $25 so far.
Wow.
Seriously, who's
Yes.
this?
It's called Riol, the Riol account.
Nice.
Is
Okay.
that?
It's a K41, and I dare you to hit it.
Oh, there it is.
Well, I'll push it. We'll try and push it to like K44, K45 ish. For Chalons, at least for finals and stuff like that. But like it'll be our free to play account in the rallies.
Mhm.
And it's rocking. It's rocking like I think 2900 range attack right now as a K41.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, you say it's a pretty easy thing because pretty much everyone who, is scoring high enough to win a red sub needs the red sub. So they just get what they won. And then, those of us that have we're full with red subs. We just look at who then the next person who didn't win it and would benefit from it would be, and we just pass it down.
Yeah, that's actually a good strat. And, like, I think even beyond the top teams, other people should do this as well. Like, you build on top of the success that you get. Like, you use it as a ladder, you keep climbing higher. At the end of the day, evony is an endless game. There's no end boss, there's no end state. It's not going to end with K50. 2 years from now, we're probably going to be talking about 55, maybe even 60, depending on how greedy those fuckers get. So, like, if you get successful here and there, like, yeah, spread the success, because it's only going to work if you have a team. That's the only way you're going to climb higher.
Yep, and that team play is going to propel you into PvE stuff being easier, which then will cascade into the PvP being easier. Your all-stars performance is getting better because you're playing more difficult teams and challenges. There's a large, like, soft benefit to taking care of your team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
So
was thinking,
how do you guys do it? Go on, please.
maybe we start pulling people up from the community and just ask them if they have questions. Like, if someone raises their
Yes.
hand or something. I did see a
Juvenile
few
had a
hand requests,
question.
but those are gone.
Juvenile had a
Yeah, sorry,
question
no,
way
no, no.
early on.
What was the
A
question?
console?
Did you read?
I'm trying to scroll up.
Yeah.
to where it was.
So you mean the subs, right?
Yeah.
There's a question
Uh,
here. Early on, you guys touched on traps and mentioned an optimized trap. Could you expand on that?
Okay, let's just allow console to talk about how poor Rig is and how they don't have any historics, and then we'll answer that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much similar to what Oz said. Well, all of our rally team members are full of red subs, and we actually have like 5 red subs lying on the server just for people to level the generals. So we used to pass it on, like what other guys suggested. Whenever we used to win earlier on, we would just pass it on to the players who didn't have. Eventually, we reached a state where everybody has some nice subs. So um, even during the regular sub events, if somebody needs an upgrade, we just give it to them. Or especially the cultural ones, most of us have like max amplified spectacles done. So we just
Book, I'm calling bullshit.
yeah.
I'm calling bullshit that you actually have a cultural sub.
I do have one actually, but
Bull- Bullshit. You have to send me a screenshot to prove now. I don't believe it.
yeah. So yeah, we don't really care about the subs anymore. I think that's the same story as you grow older with the continents. You played so many tournaments and you've got so many coiners. So one of the perks of having that kind of a team.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
And sorry, there was a question that Nay read, and I don't want to be rude. I didn't tell her we were going to answer it. Early on, you have touched on traps and
Yeah.
mentioned an optimized trap. Could you expand on that? Trap is a very tricky topic. Who was trying to answer? I think Stamp made the comment, so I'm gonna let Stamp talk first. Go on,
I'm not a
Stampy.
trap,
What's
bro.
the
I mean, I feel
what's
like
an optimized trap?
that's a separate event in and of itself. An optimized
It
trap
is.
is really a player that knows what they have and has gotten hit by a lot of stuff and continues to improve upon it. But like it's the debuff side, the buff side, and really just like the experience in taking hits that are tricky. And the thing that's most difficult, I guess, about optimized traps is that a lot of them don't have the same exposure as like a top team trap would to those super high tier accounts that are soloing them. So when they do get hit by those keeps, they get blasted. Like it's not an easy thing to just like throw out
Yeah.
a clean answer to.
Yeah,
One
it's
thing,
like so. Do you think all types of traps work? Well, there can only be three. There's no such thing as a siege trap. Let's just agree to that. And then say ground, archer, and cav. There can be three types. Which one do you think is most effective? Which ones do you actually run in your team?
We run Cav, but that doesn't
Okay.
take up the effectiveness of. I think the issue with ranged is scale. Like you can't build upon it without issue.
Mhm.
But like ground is fantastic. A well put together ground trap is arguably the current meta more difficult to handle than a calf trap. It's just calf traps have been way more popular, and from a getting soloed standpoint, I think calf traps might perform a touch better.
Yeah.
agreed. Yeah, so I think range trap is really difficult because I had one just as a side thing in the past, and it is horrible, especially against solos. Like Stump said, I agree. The calf traps are great for solos. Ground would be definitely better for rallies, especially if you're gonna get range. But even just if we look at traps, traps still work, right? We, like you said, in the big team, there's more exposure. So we do have some calf traps, and we have a calf trap that's amazing. And he has worked really hard in optimizing, constantly working on it, reading reports, what works, what doesn't, pushing the buffs and debuffs. I think a lot of the times what the issue people have with traps is they're not focused enough in what they want, right? So it's almost like an identity crisis. They want to do too many things, but if you want to trap, you need to be laser focused on what you're debuffing and the buffs you want and the type of troops. All three of them go hand in hand, right? So if you're missing even one thing, you're not gonna do well. So that comes from troops, how you layer the troops, what backup troops you have, what troops are exposed, especially like in siege. Often people build out siege and then it just gets exposed and they start giving points away on solos. So, and knowing, yeah, ultimately knowing your keep and what works and what doesn't, and where you need to pour out, when to heal layers. But yeah, important thing is making sure all three troops, buffs, debuffs go hand in hand, and you're focused on what you want to do.
Okay, we have a speaker, Death Angel. Hello. You have a question for the panel?
Yes. Kind of back on the defense portion. Do you guys like do pre-rains? Like you choose like three people that you pre-rain, and each of your teammates gets three people to pre-rain.
No, you don't want to look up that many matches. A strategy that I've run before, I can talk about it from a pre-rain point of view, is we would intentionally create a hive formation where we would make the weakest keep visible to you the most. So we'll park it on like one extreme of our hive. So you look at it and you go, as I said, it's tempting to you because you're seeing the only K44 in our hive or K43 in our hive. You'll go for it, but it'll have like 100 million because it'll have one march from everyone. But I would never do two, three marches into three different people because then I only have three marches to rally with. And for most part, Chalons is about speed setting. Unless, like, I haven't played at really that outside of top 16. Like, I have not experienced a game outside of top 16 to be able to say, oh, you're soloing a lot, so maybe pre-range makes sense. But like within top 16, if you lock two, three matches for everyone, you're probably putting yourself at a disadvantage that you should not. Maybe an intentional trap, which, as I said, I've run this in All Stars, I've run this in Chalons. I'll make the like the weakest keep look like you can target it, and then you run four rallies on it, and you've suddenly given us 200k points for nothing, like literally not doing anything.
I've got a question for you, Dad. So I think you can get it more tailored. Where does your alliance normally finish, or what do you aim for?
Well, mainly, quite honestly, we're small. We just try to aim to even get past the 4 weeks.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll get to the first preliminary and that's it. So I mean, really, I can't say that I'm part of a team that's like top notch like you guys. I mean, it's
And you
amazing to
don't need
listen
to
to you
be.
guys, but for the most part, it seems like our team, we do some pre-rains, but then I see how you guys are talked about how rains are settling faster than rallies, and so you guys primarily do spot raining then, is because you have some people uh, like watch for rallies coming in.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and
yeah, go on, Stan.
I was gonna say we have a couple of people that are watching the incoming rallies for everybody, and we have, I don't know, at least half of our players play muted, so the whole calling rallies on themselves thing just isn't tenable, and we found is pretty inconsistent. So we've had a couple of people kind of take that banner up. To call those inbounds. But yeah, and pre-rains are precarious because like it's kind of a crutch. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Like it's kind of a crutch, especially as you get into those rounds past the first 4 weeks where things are going to be in general taking place quicker. If your team's not in a position to reactive rain quickly because there is an experience doing it, then yeah, having a little bit of pre-rain out there won't hurt. But to Oz's point, three is going to handicap your offense and just handicap the whole round unless you have no chance. But by doing three, you're also giving yourself no chance.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the problem with pre-rains too is like, first of all, you've just limited your offensive marches. Now you're bound up trying to, get those back as fast as you can to continue rallying. And then half the time it's not even the right troop type. So then now you're raining with something that's less effective than if you'd known before you sent it exactly what was coming at it. You can decide what to send to it. You don't have that choice on a pre-rain. You just stuck something in and you hope it works.
I would add one thing further, or a couple of things, and more tailored towards, those smaller alliances, or like in Death Angels Alliance, tailored to them. So let's assume you do go for a pre-rain. If you got a team that's gonna be a lot more stronger than you, they're just gonna smack you around. And what's gonna happen is, your big guys that are pre-raining, if you've got a really good setter against you, they're just gonna take them out. And offensively, you're gonna be handicapped, right? So it's oftentimes you need to know what you're capable of and what you're not. So like with when your matches, 3 matches out of effect, but you need to look at your team, and you're gonna, if you're outweighted against a bigger alliance, they're just gonna take you out. So I think for that point of view and your alliance, it's better to have a more scattered hive and open hive. So you have that flexibility, and it takes the other alliances a bit longer to find you. Now, that in itself creates a challenge of making sure your guys are on point so you can rally fast enough. But yeah, you kind of have to look at that balance and make sure, okay, so who should be outside the hive and who should be inside the hive, and who you protect and who you don't, and how you're going to do that.
So before he jumps out of here, I just want to give my 2 cents on that. You don't need to pre-rain anymore. The game isn't that hard. I have a video on using the Alliance War tab. If you want to go to the RSP YouTube channel, you can go check that out. If you're gonna pre-rain, maybe the setter could send one march because he's busy doing a bunch of other shit, but everyone else should be reactive raining. And then if you want to break it down to like one of the smaller level alliances, yeah, if you're not advancing, then sure, you could pre-rain some frequently hit keeps. but you really want to get into that reactive rain, and that takes a lot of practice, but it's very easy. Everyone can do it.
Okay, so this question is for the C1, C2, C3 people. Cheeky Monkey says, wonder if anyone at the top gets tired of winning things. What do you think about this?
Not really, bro. Like at least I can speak for C1. So initially it was boring because that like we would go in as the top dog. Everyone would like they would bet their coins on us. We would win. It wasn't fun. But the last 4 seasons, we have gone in as the underdog. Every single time we get bet against. Uh, we're not the favorites, we are the underdogs, and when we get to finals, it's always looking like we're like this is the first time that we're gonna give up the title, and then somehow we come out on top. So it
Yeah,
is actually fun, but like on paper, when you look at it, you're like, oh my god, these guys have won Chalons 10 times, but out of those 10, the last four, we really had no business winning. Like it's been strategy, it's been teamwork, it's been everything else that happens in between two Chalon seasons, and the amount of work that goes into keeping the team up to date, fixing, optimizing everything. Like there's so many unsung heroes. You just see one aspect of it. Chalon's final, one video, one POV, and they're like, yeah, champions again, whatever. But like the number of people that work on the number of things that you have to work on is crazy, bro. And it's every single day. This thing is harder than your
Hmm,
fucking job.
hmm.
Like, honestly, at least for me, running RSP is harder than like running the two businesses that I run.
Okay. Console and Osmaniye, I like your input on this as well.
sure. So
So go for it.
yeah, so from C3 point of view, although we often get, labeled as, oh yeah, we're gonna win, or that's, yeah, it's just gonna be another win for WATF. Within the alliance and inside the alliance, we don't do that. We don't take anybody for granted. So, and we don't underestimate any team. We're still constantly working. I can tell you, last 3 seasons, we've gone in with the mindset of the other teams can beat us. So we need to be on our game, and that itself is quite, fun and exciting. So when you're on top, somebody's always gonna try knocking you off. So that gives you extra encouragement to make sure you do better each time. And yeah, we don't underestimate anybody, even though we're winning for however long. We're always going in with the mindset of that team can beat us. So we need to be better. And that's what we're doing. And even in this season, and what I was talking about earlier, we've got some really good teams in the continent. And yeah, we're going in with the mindset they can beat us, and we need to work hard and not take anything for granted.
Hmm.
All right. So talking about C2 now. The original question is if we get bored of winning. No, not at all. We love to win. I think everybody loves to win. We spend all this money, time, energy, everything to do
Hmm.
better and win every time, right? So we are fortunate that we have a team that can pull it off every single time. It gets more challenging. I mean, might sound funny, but you know, you we are a kind of team who are very very competitive. In case anybody didn't know, so if we won by 1 million points this time, next time we want to win by 1.2 million points, maybe. But yeah, it never gets boring. We are equally excited. Everybody's focused and you know taking it Chalons and all the major events very seriously.
So I'm just gonna add one thing. Cheeky Monkey, I just did a follow up about just saying it's nice to have neo folk win stuff. So what I would say to that is when you're competitive, then you wanna do your best, right? You're not gonna take it easy or let other ones win. If somebody's gonna win, they're gonna win because they deserve it. That's my thoughts at least. So I don't know about you guys.
Where he's talking about other people getting free stuff.
Yeah,
Like if we
newer
already
folks
had
winning
all the
stuff.
dragons, like example for All
Yeah,
Stars, if we already had all that shit, then it goes to the next person.
yeah,
No,
no,
no, because you guys got to spend. You got to be good. Like that's literally what this game is, right? It's a freemium game. It's not like you're playing like NBA 2K or some shit. You're playing a freemium phone game, you know. So you got to commit to an extent. So it
yeah.
would be nice to see people get more rewards, but like, bro, you're just I don't know. The devs will never do that because it's not going to support their business model, you know. So you got to be realistic. You got to be grounded to reality, you know.
But also, like, if you're competitive, right? You wanna win. That's the Yeah. You still wanna win. You don't wanna take it easy, do you? Then what's the point of playing if you don't wanna try to win? Whether you're winning or not, even let's say the teams that are not winning, they are always trying to win and one up the other guy.
Mm.
Uh, Now with the new continent shuffle coming up, what are your guys, predictions, and also with the rally optimization, how you know how much rallies are we expecting? What is your continent makeup, and what do you propose, or what do you see coming in the next continent shift, as well as the coming rallies that will be coming your way? What do you guys think about that?
Probably Vig coming to C1, right? Like that's bound to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
happening. Yes, that's not happening.
maybe
I'm
not
not.
this time.
I
If
am not. I am not authorizing that. I'm not signing off on that.
No, so we would love to do that. That's one thing I wanted to add to the getting bored part. We would definitely love some more competition. There's some very good alliances in C2, but even C1 have some crazy alliances. Uh, and we would love to play for C1 sometime soon. I don't think it's going to happen
No,
tomorrow.
no.
People are
It's
saying,
a
but
no. It is a no. It is a big
uh,
fat no.
eventually.
I can send you the C3 if you want.
Nah, we're good. Take them to C1. We'll go into C2 without them.
No, I think it'll eventually. I think 2026 is the year. It's gonna happen. The next
Yeah,
season, it's gonna be RSP, VIG, HOT, NFG, NEF,
GOT.
GOT,
GOT, yeah.
Reb. I'm sure I'm missing some other teams, but like C1 is about to get crowded.
Hmm. Osmani, what do you think will be in terms of WDF?
I think if Vic goes into C1, I think we'll definitely go into C2. It would be, yeah, I think that would make a big difference and fun for a lot of the alliances. So I do think WDF will end up in C2 very soon.
Stamp, what do you think about the C4? What are your predictions? And
Uh, I think that we have a very good chance of winning. Um, I think that there's a lot of depth still in C4, especially like top 10. Yeah, I'm not sure what Fahad's plans are for playing. I know he talked about wanting to try to get a merge and like sit out Chalons as kind of a protest. So that'd be it'd be sad if that took place, but that would shift the weight. I feel like as far as who's going to be in that top 10 zone. Uh, PPK is going to be right there, trying to claw the spot back. Uno, I think 1, 2, 3 is trying to have a resurgence. Sax trying to have a resurgence. Like there's a bunch of teams there. I feel like from like the who's going to win it standpoint, I don't see us losing.
Nee, how do you predict the continent shift?
How do I predict the continent shift? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, this is the question.
Quite honestly, I have not even played off the game because I have no idea. I feel like everything is so thrown off from them not following the normal 2 Chalon schedules that I feel like that might be an indicator that C7 is coming. But I've also been wrong before, so who knows? I just think as far as my team's concerned, we look forward to the shift. It could only bring more competition, and we welcome that. So, we haven't really been sweating it too much. We've just been, a little disappointed we didn't get the shift already, but, we're gonna roll with it and hopefully be able to defend our title. And hopefully next season we move up and have even stronger competition and, keep going.
I love that spirit. Francis, what do you think? You guys would be shifted to C7, or what are your predictions for that?
Yeah, I think mostly we're gonna shift to C7, but I would like to stay the existing continent. So because during the normal BOG BOC, so we play mostly like C1 to C4 team, and we hardly get a chance to meet like a C6 strong teams like USA, POB, ATB, and JWD. So Chalon's like all-star group time to meet together. So we send many tickets. We would like to stay, maybe just cut our off. So after the 1892, so new C7, that should be great. We love the competition. So even the Chalons, the rewards is not that attractive. We just hope the exciting battle with the strong teams. So and we also would like to beat them some points because we lost the previous two as we're pretty new. But we put a lot of effort to get the team up. So we definitely want to show our full power and hope that everyone just enjoys the battle. So I would like to stick the C6 as existing, but I guess mostly we're gonna shift to C7. Yeah.
Okay, this sounds really optimistic. And I think we are already here for 1 hour, 30 minutes. We'll like to round it off. It's been a long time. Thank you so much, everyone, for this info, the insights, and sharing your strategies with the audience. This was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so, so, so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having
Thanks
us
for
on
having
here,
us.
Audra.
And thank you so much to the audience. I mean, you guys have been amazing. You guys have pushed up amazing questions. And we've got so much to discuss. And this was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone.
I just did a little selfless promo in the chat there. If you guys want some educational Evony content, go look us up. Boom. Yeah.
Thank you. Of course, we'll go and look at it.